Good afternoon, everybody, from the streets of Sebastopol, and this is one cool little town out here in Northern California. Not only is it the home of a longtime home of Jerry Garcia and Mickey Hart from the Grateful Dead, but it's also home to some great entrepreneurial companies like, well, behind me, the Guayaki Yerba Mate company. You can Google it. It's an up-and-coming beverage company. And the spirit of entrepreneurism really is a driving force in this, well, hippie town. You know, it was a wild week last week, and a lot of people asked me, Rosie, did you see that vote coming in Britain? Did you see that coming? And honestly, no. I'm a believer in polls, but I'm starting to believe less in the ability of pollsters to really accurately measure what's going on in a country anymore, and especially a country like the UK. I, like everybody else, thought that the Brits would probably stay within the European Union, but they left. And because they did leave, and because that vote was counter to expectations, we had a gigantic crack up in the markets. Gold and silver went higher. Stocks plunged worldwide, and interest rates plunged once again. The US dollar soared, and currencies like the British pound hit 30-year lows. So the question is, where do we go from here? You know, in a philosophical sense, I have to tell you, it doesn't often make sense to have a geographical area composed of many different countries with many different economic systems and many different work ethics and social ethics to share one common currency. So I would not be surprised if the ECU and the euro start coming under pressure to break apart too and go back to individual country currencies like the Deutschmark, the French franc, etc. It just makes more sense that the economic policy in Germany, for example, should be different than the economic policy in a country like Portugal. One may need higher interest rates, one may need to have bankruptcy protection. You know, what happens to one tends to infect all, and it can really be a disaster when all is said and done. So I'm expecting more fault lines and more breaks when it comes to, say, the European Union now. You've seen what happened to gold and silver. Well, I've often said on many hangouts and on many videos over the last year and a half on this channel that gold and silver are truth tellers. In a world where currencies, the value could be this or that or government fiat, gold and silver are the metals that cut across all governments, all politics, all economics, all parts of the world, where everybody has that instinct to grab when things hit the fan. And we saw that this week. Now, what to expect going forward? Well, we have interest rates so low, it's almost ridiculous. So any thought that this might turn the stock market, this shocking news, I'm going to kind of take the other side of the coin and go out on a limb here and stick with my same bromide that I've had for a year and a half on here in all my life in investing, and it is this: news does not hold a market. Now, it's very true. The news was shocking, and when we get shocking news that's not expected, of course, we have big fallout like we had on Friday. But the reality is, what's going to really be the impact on this bubble that we've been building in the U.S. in terms of stocks and a small bubble in real estate? It's not going to mean anything at all. If anything, the bubble's going to be potentially bigger because interest rates are slammed back down to ridiculously low levels, and there's no way that the Federal Reserve, in the face of all this turmoil worldwide, is going to have the cojones to step up and push interest rates. So it's like all of a sudden the playing field went from kind of shaky to really super smooth and super clear. So that's the reality of that. Anyway, guys, thanks for being with me today. I will see you in a week or so, and stay strong. We sure do live in interesting times, and yes, I was buying on Friday afternoon, so we'll see what happens this week. But I'll tell you what, I would not be surprised to see us in a week or so back up touching that 18,000 level again. And if we punch through to an all-time high, which could very well happen, well, you'll know you heard it here from the Rosie Girl first. Have yourselves a wonderful week, everybody.